And welcome back to my channel. This is my first content video and I hope I have all of your support. As we all know, the coronavirus situation has shaken us socially and economically. So I'm here to entertain you guys with a story. Have you all heard of Chyavanaprasham? I'm sure at least some of you must have heard of that. For the ones who don't know, let me tell you. Chyavanaprasham is a 5,000-year-old dietary supplement. It is Ayurvedic. It is made from more than 34 organic ingredients. Now you must be thinking, why is this girl talking about Chyavanaprasham after talking about coronavirus? What's the connection? Let me tell you the benefits of Chyavanaprasham. Chyavanaprasham strengthens our immunity. Not only does it do that, it detoxifies our liver, gives us radiant skin, supplements our respiratory, reproductive, digestive and metabolic health and whatnot. It is an all-in-one. Therefore, I am here to tell you the story of the origin of Chyavanaprasham. This is a story from the Vedas. So, let me tell you something beforehand. As we all know, in our Indian culture, we give huge importance to our respect to elders. Sons and daughters and youngsters are expected to obey every demand of the elders. May it cost their life, they are expected to obey that. So this is the story of a sacrifice made by a daughter. Long ago, there lived a king called Chyavanaprasham. He was a very just and valiant ruler. One day, he decided to take a tour on one of the rural areas of his kingdom. The tour lasted several days. He went with his sons. On the last day of his tour, he camped near the forest area of a village. The next day, the princess wanted to go for hunting. During their hunting time, they saw a mound of sand on their path in the shape of a human. They thought it was a very bad omen. They threw stones and sticks at it for a long time. And then they went back to the camp and said the whole thing to the king. The king didn't take it seriously. He thought it was just childish fantasy. They went back to the kingdom. But then there were inauspicious happenings all around the kingdom. Everyone was irritated. They were throwing stones at each other. They were barking orders at each other. They were scolding each other, having arguments. There were so many deaths, murders, robberies, thievery. The king was puzzled. He didn't have any idea what was going on in his kingdom, which was once peaceful and very happy. And then he realized what the princess told them 1 week ago. He decided to go back to the spot and see for himself. He went along with some of his ministers, family members and beauteous daughter Suganya. Upon reaching the spot, he realized that the mold which was in the shape of human figure was in fact the sage Chyavan, who was in meditation for years. He was severely wounded and injured and bedridden. He was shocked, and sage Chyavan was very angry at the princess. He was forced out of meditation and sustained grave injuries. The king and his companions stood with folded hands and said to the Guru apologetically, "O holy Guru, my sons have done a grave mistake which caused all these injuries in your body. Please forgive them. It was unintentional." The Guru was very angry. Even though it was unintentional, the princess weren't supposed to do that. If there was a problem in their path, they shouldn't throw stones at it. They should go and investigate. By throwing stones at the path, they had injured the Guru. He told the king, "O great king, I can't forgive your princess. But maybe If you marry your daughter to me, I would be able to forgive you. The king was puzzled. He had high hopes for his daughter. She was at a very tender age. She was still in playing age. She was a teenager. How can he marry her off to this old sage? He was very puzzled and very distressed. He dreamt of giving her off to a Prince Charming with all pomp and show. He couldn't imagine a situation marrying her off to an old sage who lived in the wild. The sage sensed the king's distress. He said to the king, "O king, don't worry. You can marry her off to me. I know so many mantras. I can give her the royalty here in the wild. You needn't be worried." The Princess Suganya also guessed the distress of her father. She knew that if they overlooked the wishes of the sage, there would be huge calamity on the land. There would be epidemics, pandemics, and natural calamities. So she stepped up and said, "Oh father, you can marry me off to the old sage. Him asking me for marriage is auspicious. I know I will be happy with him. Also, I can hear the wisdom of him and the other saints. I would be happy. Please don't worry." The king was relieved with her words. And so, the sage Chavan and Princess Suganya was married at an auspicious hour with due ceremony. Peace returned to the whole land. There were no calamities, no pandemics, no epidemics, no one quarreled, no thievery, no robbery, no jealousy, no enmity. It was the same old kingdom. The king was relieved, but still distressed about the princess. On the other hand, the newly married Princess Suganya faced no worries at all. She befriended wild creatures, played with pets, and did all the household chores. She did all the cleaning, sweeping, cooking, and fed all the guests and saints of the ashram while taking care of Sage Chavan's wounds. Months and years passed by, and now Sage Chavan was all healed. Taking care of Chavan and the other saints became a passion for Princess Suganya. One fine day, the twin physician brothers, Ashwani brothers, came by. They came to earth to see how everything was going on, and they noticed how a beautiful young princess-like girl was taking care of Chyavana and other saints in an ashram. They decided to test her marital dedication. They went up to her while she was doing her chores and said, "Oh, young beauteous lady, why are you doing all the chores here? You look like a princess, a very beautiful one at that. Why are you living here as an old sage's wife? What is the use? Look at us. We are twin brothers who live by one name. We are called Ashwani brothers. Why don't you come with one of us? You can live in our royal palace. You will have a life of luxury. How do you think about that?" Princess Suganya folded her hands and apologetically denied the offer. She said, "Oh, Ashwani brothers, I am glad you offered, but I will have to deny. I love my husband and the chores I do in this house. My father married me off to the sage, and I will stand by this marriage. I will have to deny you." The Ashwani brothers were very happy and content by her answer. They gave her a boon. The celestial physicians gave the sage a secret formula to a miracle drug. This miracle drug, they said, will regain youth even at this late age. And this drug came to be known as Chyavanaprasham after the sage Chavan. Ashwani Kumars also made the sage as handsome as themselves, and this was the boon they promised to the princess. And now the sage and the princess look like a very beautiful married couple in age and looks. So friends, this is the story of how Chyavanaprasham was originated. I know that some of you might think that this story is insensible when you're hearing it in the 21st century. You're right, it might seem insensible, but if we are listening to a story, we have to listen to the moral and not the content of the story, because stories are meant to be insensible at times, but the morals can be very good. The moral of the story is, if we are dedicated to something, then there will be a sure after result, and which will be very positive one. I hope you enjoyed this story. Please like, share and comment on this video, and please don't forget to subscribe and click the bell icon. Thank you.